Well, hello, parents. Here we are again for our second ever parenting moment. And I'm recording today from my son's bedroom because this is a place where my son and I have a lot of conversations. And I'm sure that it's true for you as well in your household. Maybe it's your kid's bedroom or at the dining room table or in the living room or the basement. It's a place where we have conversations with our kids. And I want to encourage us this week in our parenting to keep the conversation going. Because especially during this time of family quarantine, we have lost a lot of our routines and rhythms as a family. And as adults, we understand that on a certain level. We get it. The thing is that our kids are experiencing this as well. They might not know how to express it or have the words to put to their feelings, but they are affected by this just as much as we are. And this came to light for me about a month ago when my boys and I just needed to get out of the house. It was one of those afternoons, so we piled into the van and we just went for a drive. And I didn't know where we were going. To be honest, I just started driving. And after a number of minutes, I ended up pulling into a Tim Hortons drive-through, and we each got a donut. Thought it would make it a special moment. And I realized that the Tim Hortons that I'd stopped in was not far from my boys' school. So as we left Tim Hortons, I just went down the street a little bit and I turned into the school parking lot. And I noticed that there was a silence in the van. And yes, they were eating their donuts, but a place that was normally filled with all their friends, filled with buses, filled with a bunch of noise and activity, was completely quiet. And all of a sudden, I noticed that one of my boys was crying. And they just simply said, "I really miss my friends." And so we started to have a conversation at that point about some of the things that we were really missing about our regular life that we used to know. And it reminded me of how important this conversation is. There's many important conversations that we're going to have with our kids. But especially during this time, I want to encourage you to have this conversation about the things that our kids are missing during this time. And it doesn't matter if your kid is really young or whether your kid is a young adult who is back living at home. I guarantee you there are things that your child is missing about what they knew life to be like, and it's totally different now. So this is a crucial conversation to have with our kids, and I want to encourage you to do three things. Firstly, I want to encourage you to help your child name the things that they are missing. Depending on the age of your kid, they might be able to do this very easily. If they're a lot younger, you might need to help them process and talk about some of the things that they might be missing. I would even encourage you, get a piece of paper, write these things down, document them, write down on that piece of paper some of the things that your kids are missing. Maybe it is things like friendships, maybe it's play dates, maybe it's the ability to celebrate something like their birthday or an upcoming graduation or playing sports. There's a lot of different things that our kids are missing right now, and it will help if they have an ability to name them. So talk to your kids about it and then write it down. Secondly, I want to encourage you to not only name the things that your kids are missing, but validate that for them. Don't be too quick as a parent to do what we love to do, and what we need to do for our kids is comfort them and assure them everything will be okay. Yes, we want to be a source of support and of strength for them, but we also want to just simply acknowledge and validate for them that the emotions and feelings that they're having are very real. So we can say things like, "I know it's really hard to not be able to get together with our extended family, isn't it? It's really hard not to be able to organize a play date or to do that thing, whatever it is that your kid is missing." You need to validate and help them acknowledge what they're missing and the loss that they're experiencing. And thirdly, to help with this, I would encourage you as parents to share some of the things in your own life that you are missing during this time. Because our kids do need to see us as a source of strength, but they also need to see that this is affecting us as well. Because whether you realize it or not, they see the effects that this is having on you. They hear the conversations that are had in the background. They see the stress that kind of mounts during the day, and they know that something is different. So we need to be honest with our kids about what we're missing as well. Tell them, yeah, I'm missing going out for dinner like we used to do on Friday nights as a family, or I miss the ability to go out to the movies with you, or I miss the ability to go watch you play soccer or baseball. There's a number of things that we as parents can acknowledge that we are missing as well in our lives. Maybe it's something that we're missing at work or in our own socialization and friendships. This just lets our kids know that they aren't alone, that they are not alone in their loss and their feelings at this time. So I encourage you to do these three things. Help your kids name the losses, validate and affirm those losses, and then share some of your own losses as well. Now, this isn't going to be an easy conversation, but it will be a good conversation. And I think it is an essential conversation to be having with our kids, especially during this time of family isolation. So this week, as you love your family, as you love your kids well, have a crucial conversation. Keep the talking going and support one another as a family during this time. God bless you as you parent to the best of your ability.